make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening. Welcome into Greeny Sports Cards Live, the world's first multi-stream broadcast for the hobby industry, as we continue on episode 103, if you can believe that. We're going on 2+ years of coming to you every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the hottest card shows, breaking news in the hobby, influencers, and stories. And we get to do that every week here on Greeny Sports Cards Live, and in big part, thanks to all of you that continue to tune in week over week and participate in the shows, which you can do. And we encourage that on whatever platform you may be watching, whether it's the Twitter, the X, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. If you're checking in on Instagram later on, or even YouTube, comment below in the section. We'll integrate you into the show. If you have questions for us or for our guests, please do so and become part of the show. And what is that show? Well, we'll tell you right here in the rundown, everything that's going to take place tonight. We've got a jam-packed show for you again, as always, an extended version of Card Show Live with two special guests tonight. So we're going to check in with Matt Canaday, also known as the Griffey Guy with GG2 Sports Cards, talk about their upcoming show. And we'll also check in with Wes Speece, who is with Oak City Sports Cards. We've had Wes on the show previously, but he's going to be launching the Next Up Card Show in Pittsburgh that'll take place during the NFL Draft in April, which will be pretty cool to be a part of that experience. So we'll also check in with our resident hobby insider, Joe Wismierski, fresh off of the Super Bowl experience. He was out there this past week on Radio Row and taking part of all types of content and interesting activities. So we'll check in with Joe, get the latest on his experience this week. And of course, we'll check in with the man himself, who will help guide the ship this evening through 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Steve Greenberg, aka Greeny. And programming note, there is no auction tonight. Typically, Alex Schott runs our auctions on Tuesday and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. But of course, Alex has welcomed in a new addition to his family recently, and he's taking a little bit of a break. So when Alex comes back very soon, we will let you know, and those auctions will resume every Tuesday night and Thursday night here on Greeny Sports Cards. So thank you for joining us, and we will thank the man himself for joining us right now. Greeny, good evening.
Good evening, Jeremy. Good evening. How are we?
I'm doing well. Greeny, I mentioned we got an extended Card Show Live segment today with two special guests, but we're going to go all around the country as we do every week. You've got shows coming up in Bloomington, in Minnesota. You've got Tampa Bay, and of course, Northwest Arkansas. And the other show coming up at the NFL Draft, the Next Up Card Show, we'll talk to Wes about. That's going to be a really interesting experience as well.
Yeah, no question. Surprisingly, there's not been a show around that before, and Wes and his team, they're making it happen in Pittsburgh, right across from where the draft will take place in their convention center. So we're pleased to be a part of that with them, and we'll talk all about it and the ins and outs and how that came to be and what their plans are for that show.
Greeny, what did you eat for the Super Bowl?
So I went over a friend's house and we made, well, I will say I ate like roast beef sandwiches, but homemade roast beef with coleslaw on them. So a semi panini sandwich, but pretty good. Yeah, we had a nice time. We didn't consume any of the millions of pounds of wings.
No. Well, I consumed some pizza from our friends at Giannino's, and I'm sure they put out a lot of pies this weekend, Saturday, and of course Super Bowl Sunday. And we want to thank Giannino's Pizzeria for all of their support and their continued support. And if you did not partake in pizza on Super Bowl Sunday, there's plenty of opportunities coming up. Really, anytime you have a meal, lunch or dinner, make sure you head to Giannino's Pizzeria. If you are in and around the Ohio area, they've got locations all over the state, so check them out.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm a year older now, so Mommy can give me Giannino's pizza. Hey, whoever thought of making a great tasting Giannino's pizza with all these fresh ingredients? They gotta be some kind of genius. More, Mommy!
Every Giannino's pizza is made with fresh dough, delicious tomato sauce without additives or preservatives, and fresh provolone cheese shredded daily. For a location near you, go to Gianninos.com.
You want a piece of me?
I do.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that pizza right now. So our thanks to Giannino's. Greeny, we're going to welcome in Joe Wismierski here shortly for extended hobby news, but want to get through the quick hits of the week real fast. February releases are hitting hard right out of the gate. The 2025 Panini Prizm Football dropped on February 2nd and immediately lit up the hobby with huge rookie pulls, fast-moving parallels, and early eBay volatility. Collectors are ripping nonstop and posting their comps in real time. And the February release calendar stays stacked. The baseball flagship is next, with 2026 Topps Series 1 baseball arriving expected on February 11th, and Chrome Soccer and Upper Deck Hockey follows close behind. And collectors are really buzzing about the next wave of 2026 releases. You've got the Topps Museum Collection, Bowman's Best, and Premier League Chrome are all generating early hype thanks to strong rookie classes and premium hit density. Further on that note, Collectibles on SI reports that Fanatics Collectibles has inked a major partnership deal with none other than David Beckham, and they're planning to introduce autographs, relic cards, memorabilia, and other really cool inserts tied to upcoming products like that 2026 Premier League Chrome. So very cool. Collectibles on SI is also reporting on a Minnesota family that hit a $3 million Shohei Ohtani 1/1 gold logo man. That's one of the biggest modern pulls of the year. And WNBA cards are officially the fastest growing category of 2026 so far in the early run. And the Caitlin Clark effect continues to reshape the market. Ultra low print flawless cards are anchoring six-figure pricing, and demand shows no sign of slowing. So that's it for your quick hits of the week. If you want more hobby news, in-depth stories, head to Collectibles on SI or si.com/collectibles for the latest in hobby news. And for more on that, let's check in with our resident hobby expert and welcome Joe Wismierski of Phoenix Sports Cards, fresh off his trip to the Super Bowl this past week.
Super Bowl week. He actually they made him go home before the big game.
Correct. So my choice, yeah.
What did you eat for the Super Bowl? Did you have Giannino's?
No, we did not. But
you would have.
I wish I would have had some JoJo's. Yes, I would have had some JoJo's. And I probably would have washed it down with a bottle of salad dressing, like yourself, Steve.
I love their salad dressing. I do.
I did make some Greek meatballs that were stuffed with feta cheese and some spinach. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Good.
It was
Good.
it was interesting, gentlemen. It was very interesting.
So
Going to
Radio
Radio
Row,
Row.
tell us about, like, is it everything that we hear about Radio Row?
Well,
Is it? I mean, yeah. Give us the
Well, what do you
rundown.
hear about it? What do you hear about it first, Steve?
I mean, you hear that it's a who's who of behind the mic and on the mic, right? And then the guests. So, I think I saw a video of Kirk Herbstreit and the dog Pete, I think his name is, walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
I know Pat McAfee was there. Who else? Who did you see? I know that you spoke to Kyle Long, right?
Yep, Kyle Long, Mitch Morse, who played center for Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Kurt Warner was there, Jaden Daniels, Trey McBride. We also saw Christian McCaffrey. One of the days we were there, they were honoring all of the gentlemen who made the Hall of Fame. So Larry Fitzgerald, Drew Brees, John Lynch was there. The entire McAfee show was set up live. Gary V was there. Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if I mentioned Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins. Like, I hate to name drop all of my friends, but they were all there just hanging out. It's really interesting because it's like a carousel, right? They have these guys show up. They're supposed to do their 5 to 10 minutes, and then they're just on to the next. And I had media credentials. I was trying to grab someone to rip some packs with. Actually, Cam Newton acknowledged me. Like, he's like, yeah, I'll rip a pack. I'll be right there. And then he sent over one of his assistants, and his assistant looked at me. He's like, you probably don't want to rip a pack with me, do you? And I was like, if we could save it, that would be great. Dave Portnoy from Bristol Sports was there. AJ Dillon, he was there on behalf of the National. Saw Emmett Smith. Just a ton of people were there. It was fantastic.
What was your biggest moment?
Steve, I mean, so and I've talked to you about this off air, but I really struggle with people who are genuine on camera and off camera. And my biggest moment was almost an aha of, not everyone is who you think they are. And it's almost a persona that is on camera, but as soon as the camera goes off, super insecure people, like millions of followers, and they can't maintain eye contact or even just talk about the weather. So it was interesting, but it was kind of cool. I got to meet Vukram on the internet, who's a big watch dealer, and he had no idea about cards. We had 2 cards. We had a Livy Dunn auto, and then we also had a East-West Kobe Bryant Jordan that was a SGC 95. And he was like, we asked, what's the value of each of these? He was like, maybe $10 for the Livy Dunn and like $30 for the East-West. And we were like, well, you couldn't be any further from where it needs to be. So that was interesting. People who aren't necessarily within collectibles trying to understand collectibles, but then they saw the big money picture of it. So that was cool. But then also just seeing people that are out there grinding and putting the work in when it comes to like breaking and just kind of spreading the brand. We saw Renee from Bargain Hunters Breaks, also from Storage Wars. And he couldn't have been any sweeter of a person to deal with. That was someone who was genuine, no matter if the camera was rolling or not. We were always like, hey, can we shoot some content with you? And he's like, absolutely. So that was someone who I like, I was happy. It was happy because, the guy had a show on AMC, like everyone loves Storage Wars for a bit. And now he's like all about his breaking business, and he's all about cards and about the hobby. So I really like that. And he was willing just to pour into some other people. So that was very cool.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. I know that you guys did some eBay Live there, and
Yes.
Shiloh Sanders was there, Steve Smith Sr.
Hmm.
What was that like? Was that pretty interesting?
Incredibly interesting, because there are people who just they have no clue. I mean, maybe even
They
to the
have
world.
cards, but right.
Well, they might
And
not even
Shiloh may
realize the
not
world that
actually.
they're walking around in at some points too, Steve. It was wild, um, just to see people who have been in the public eye for quite some time and how their handlers really work with them. So, like Shiloh had no idea about cards, and one of the cards that he was sitting up there for an auction was for his brother's one of one first Bowman auto, and like he couldn't believe like that it even had like value like that, because in that auction they also had a Jackson Smith and Jigba black finite auto. They had Tom Brady dual shield. They had a Tom Brady signed rookie. And when he's watching these live auctions go on, he he sees thousands of dollars like racking up, and he just couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't even believe it at one point either. There was a honestly probably one of the most unassuming cards, and he's great. He's a Hall of Famer, Ray Lewis, but it was his eminence, like silver bar auto that went for like $4,900, and I was like, "What is happening?" But it was awesome. It was cool to see that kind of stuff.
Did anything pop at the National? Was there any new releases? I know that we can talk about, but did anything come out for like during the National?
D- During the Super Bowl,
Yeah, was there anything big released that day? No.
no,
Fanatics
there
kind of
wasn't
missed
any.
the boat on that.
No, I mean, probably in the future. Panini had like a pop up area, but it wasn't to the magnitude of like Fanatics and Fanatics Live and the red carpet and the party that they had and all their like crazy high level breakers that were there. It wasn't to that level, but we were also out and we saw Mojo Breaks. They did an addition to their store and kind of revamped and expanded in their studio. They hosted an auction for a Cooper Flag 5 of 5 red geometric Topps Chrome auto.
Okay.
And that was wild to sit in a room next to some gentlemen who were placing $30,000 bids
Wow.
on a card, when I'm still worried about fixing the window at the back of my house. So that was pretty intense to sit there and to see these guys, but then to also see the other side of the industry. So you have someone who's placing 30,000 in bids, but then they walk up to the counter and they want $200 off of a box of cards. And so like I get it. I get it and I love it. And I just love the human nature of it. The other huge piece too, Steve, is I got to sit in my first Uber ride that was over $300. So that was pretty intense.
I've never been to a Super Bowl. Don't know what it's really like. I'm sure it's crazy. A lot of things going on now with the advent of sports betting and gambling. Was there a lot of that? Was there a lot of sports books type events? Did you see much of that? Was there a lot of talk
It's
about?
illegal. It's illegal in the state of California.
Well, there you go. Okay.
So there wasn't, I mean, I did see like DraftKings had some stuff, but like you if your geolocation is in California, it's a no-go.
Wasn't there a picture though of David Portnoy picking games, betting on something? Obviously not. I don't know.
They may have had to been across state lines, or I
Yeah,
mean, he does have access to a private jet too, so
he probably owns a.
possibly.
Doesn't he own a sports book? So who knows?
At one point, the other thing that was really cool too, Steve, is leading up to that week. So they have the Radio Row. They also had the Pro Bowl. They had the Hall of Fame selection. The emergence, and we always talk about like female sports and women in sports, but they invited the top 32 high school flag football girls out there for like a showcase. And a dad of an athlete, a female athlete who does do flag. It was super cool to see that.
That's awesome.
You know, that to get its special highlight, right? Everyone's talking about flag football and what it's starting to do and how eventually, I mean, you're going to see that bleed over into collectibles, because if you haven't had the opportunity to watch high school women's flag football, the pace of the game and like which they play, it's really cool to get better, start offering it at the collegiate level.
You know that we know the women's flag football with our friend Izzy Geraci, who's Team USA. She was there last year. I don't know if she was there this year. I don't think there was Team USA there, but yeah, flag football is it's a fun sport.
Hey, shout out to my daughter, athlete of the
Please.
month this past month. Thank you. Yeah,
That's
she's
terrific.
up on the
Fantastic stuff.
Jumbotron.
I can't wait to send her videos to some college coaches that we may know. Yeah. So before we let you go, let's do real quick, Topps baseball. What do we need to know about it?
So it's flagship, right? It's Series 1. It's flagship. Everyone should buy a pack, right? You know, I will be a shill for Topps, but it's, if you are in the hobby, if you are a collector, you don't have to buy the hobby. I'd love if you bought a hobby, buy a hanger pack, but you need to know who's going to be the guys that you're chasing this year throughout all of the products, and that does release tomorrow. Now, what Topps just released is that they have put a 52 Mickey Mantle true, like a real card, randomly in a pack.
Well, they put a redemption. They put a redemption for the 52 Mantle.
Thank you. But it is a real.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
absolutely. Yes, that's correct. If you hit that redemption, you're getting the 52 Mantle, and they put Jerry Seinfeld autograph in there.
Now that's the other cool thing. That was, I know you guys have mentioned a few articles on collectibles on SI, and that was one of the big articles I had seen recently. Like, he doesn't sign. Like, he really doesn't sign. We know how wild the Larry David cards went. So
This will be big.
pretty interesting, right? I mean, and it seems like they these little celebrity tidbits in year after year. Previously, I think like 4 or 5 years ago, it was in Big League. Didn't they have Will Ferrell sign when he did all those different teams for spring training? Like,
that was in regular Topps, but yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice because then you're just bringing the worlds together, right? You're bringing non-sport with sport, a lot of crossover stuff, and it's cool, right? It keeps people interested, and then it brings in a new audience that maybe like Seinfeld people for life. So it's really cool.
All right, Joe, appreciate you joining us as always. Can't wait to hear more about your trip out to the Super Bowl and Radio Row. Meanwhile, tell everybody where they can find you.
Hey, you can find me at 59th and Thunderbird at Phoenix Sports Cards. We're always here. Check us out at PHX Sports Cards on Instagram, and then also at Sports Cards Nonsense for Cut the Nonsense Wednesday nights.
Can't wait to hear what you guys talk about tomorrow night.
It'll be me and Danny.
Enjoy.
Have a wonderful time. Yep.
Our thanks to Joe Wismirski, Phoenix Sports Cards, our resident hobby insider, for joining us. As he said, check him out on Cut the Nonsense. And Greeny, we've got a lot to get to tonight. Coming up, Matt Canaday and Wes Spiess. We're going to kick it off with our card show live.
Welcome on into this Valentine's Day weekend edition of Card Show Live, where we take you around the country and preview some of the biggest shows that are going to be happening around. Our first stop this weekend is the Bloomington Card Expo in Bloomington, Illinois. It is on the ISU campus at the Bone Center, or the Bone Student Center exhibition hall. They've partnered with Hobby Scan, and they're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff $1,000 in giveaways and a box of 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball, booster box of Mega Evolutions, free admission on the campus of ISU, Valentine's Day, February 14th, over 100 tables. Pretty cool. From there, we go to another Bloomington, the Bloomington Armory. This time it's in Minnesota. This is pretty interesting. I sent them a message. I wanted to know a little bit about the show, and they did write me back, and they told me that this is the Twin Cities Sports Collectors Club show. And what I found like terrific is this is a group of collectors and dealers that are based in Minneapolis, St. Paul. This club was founded in 1976, which is unbelievable. Its members, they're sports fan and hobbyists, and they've enjoyed sharing these shows, and they've been running these shows for nearly 50 years. Probably one of the longest running card show series in the country. When you think about the National is going to be on number 46. So they're at 50 years of running this, the Twin City Sports Collectors Club. It's a monthly show. It's been held at various locations throughout the city in its 50 years. Currently, it takes place at the National Guard Armory in Bloomington, Minnesota. So if you can check that out. That is really card show history there. 50 years of card shows. From there, we're going to go to Massachusetts for the Emerald Square Mall Show, Saturday and Sunday, February 14th and 15th. They advertised 201 tables, not 200, 201, making it New England's biggest show that is more than one day with free admission. So pretty good. Over 200 tables in New England there, the Emerald Square Mall in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. That is run by Card Show Promotion Sports Cards. From there, we're going to go to Card Show by the Bay, and that is in Carolyn Park, the Hilton Hotel, 100 plus tables, Tampa Bay, the Sports Card Show by the Bay, right? So great. No snow in Tampa Bay. You can hit that 2-day show. And they have people that come from all over the Tampa, St. Pete area, Clearwater, Florida, 100 tables, February 14th and 15th. So those are some of the shows that you can find around the country. And the fifth one that's on our list, and we'll bring Matt in here in a second, is Griffey Guy and Griffey Girl, the GG2 Sports Card Show in Northwest Arkansas, a show that I've been to. Matt will tell you, the last time I was there, we filled up a van filled with cards. So we did a lot of buying. Terrific show, terrific venue, terrific people that go to the show. I don't know if he's going to have it. We'll ask him this time, but the food truck there, their burgers were outstanding. So he'll tell us who's going to be there or not. But this is a 3-day show, the 13th through the 15th, Northwest Arkansas Convention Center. And with that, let's bring in Matt Canaday and let's talk about this show.
Hey guys.
Hey Matt, how are you?
Good evening.
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're doing terrific. It's been a long time coming to have you on the show, and we knew this was coming up. And one of the shows that I've been to, and hopefully I can get back to soon. Terrific show you guys do there. So tell us a little bit about what people can expect this weekend in Northwest Arkansas.
Sure. It's in Springdale, Arkansas. It's all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got a food truck on site. You're asking, it's not the same one. We got a barbecue one this time that's got what you'd expect in barbecue, ribs and stuff. They're also doing up some burgers. But, at our show, we've got 175 tables. We've got JSA on site doing the on-site authentication of autographs, and we've got Nash cards taking PSA submissions.
You had mentioned too, you have some autographers, and even if you aren't an Arkansas Razorback fan, but you're a sports fan, there's one guy that you said there's two, but the one that I know that hit a major shot, Scotty Thurman, right?
Yep, Scotty Thurman will be in attendance. He'll be there on Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3, along with U.S. Reed, who also made a pretty big shot. So they're two of the biggest shots in the history of the state, and we're just we're blessed to have them here on Saturday.
Matt, you're one of the most recognizable super collectors in the hobby, aka the Griffey Guy, and now your wife is the Griffey Gal. You've turned a collection into a brand and a community and a mission. Um, what is the moment you realized you didn't just have a PC, but it was becoming an identity in the hobby as the Griffey guy?
I mean, I'd gone to several, like I said, I live in Arkansas. I'd gone to several Chicago shows and met my wife. We started dating back in 2018, and she started coming to shows with me. And it was a show at in St. Louis, a 3-day show there. And she had kind of noticed people were calling me the Griffey guy. I didn't notice it. I'm just Matt, but she said, she started looking around on Yahoo and all these different things, and she kind of coined the Griffey guy name at that point. Before then, it was just being at shows in Chicago and all around the country. And people call me the Griffey guy because I'd always have a bunch of Griffies. And it's just something I always enjoyed collecting him because of how he represented the game and how he played the game in that era. And yeah, I've enjoyed it ever since. So.
And GG2 Sports Cards has built a real community around that. But what is kind of the secret to creating a brand around a single player without it feeling niche or limiting? Because now you've expanded into these shows and you're going to other shows. So tell us more about GG2 itself beyond just the Griffey collection.
Sure. Yeah, we started off. We were calling it the Bentonville Card Show, and that's when we met. That's when Steve came down to one of our shows. We were in Bentonville, Arkansas, about 15, 20 minutes away, and we had a friend come in and said, "You ought to think about branding this and playing, not really playing, but really thinking about the Griffey name on there." So I kind of we kind of did some brainstorming and came up with the GG2, which is Griffey Guy and Griffey Gal. And we've got to meet a lot of great people throughout the industry, at the national, at our shows, in Dallas, just all the shows we go to. We've got a lot of people that we consider friends, and we've been having a blast with it.
Yeah, and you've actually grown it to more than one location. So tell us a little bit about kind of the different places you go to and the whole scope of the shows.
Sure. So, I mean, our biggest show that we attend outside the national, we do the Dallas show. We're set up in the main room right there by the bathrooms, and we meet a lot of people there. We do shows all around Missouri, several of them here in Arkansas that we attend. We host the one here, and we host one in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is on the south side of Tulsa. The one there is about 200 tables. We've been doing that one for about 4 years, and the one here in Arkansas, we've been doing it for over 7 years. But just most of the shows are around the Midwest. We haven't been out to the West Coast or East Coast yet, but most of them are here in the Midwest, up to Illinois, through Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Arkansas, kind of. And we got down to Shreveport, Louisiana for the first time this year as well.
How many shows do you produce for the year?
Currently 2, but I'm going to make an announcement this weekend. We're going to add another one on the weekend before the national, and we'll make that announcement to our vendors this weekend, and then we'll put some stuff out on social media with Instagram and Facebook to make that announcement. But it'll be the weekend before the national, which is the weekend after Fanatics. We'll do a Friday and Saturday show in a different state. So stay tuned for that.
You have 2 locations, but those shows have more than one, right?
Yeah. So we this year we're doing 3 shows in Broken Arrow, and we're doing 4 shows here in Springdale, Arkansas. So we don't want to flood the market with all these shows. I know there's a ton of shows out there, a lot of good people doing shows. I just want people to look forward to our shows, and in between, I get to go and hang out at other shows and do that type of stuff. So,
Matt, what are collectors clamoring for down in your part of the country?
I wish I knew, but I mean, in honesty, it's a lot of basketball, which I don't do a lot of basketball, but you'd think Razorbacks, because I'm in Arkansas country. John Calipari, with what he's done with the Razorbacks and what he brought from Kentucky and stuff. They've been really big. Our baseball team is always really good, and until World Series time. So hopefully they can turn that around this year. But what they're looking for, a lot of Kansas City Chiefs and Dallas Cowboys. That's kind of the market we're in. Baseball, you got Kansas City Royals. We have the AA affiliate here in town in Springdale. So Bobby Witt rolled through here along with Salvador Perez and a lot of guys from there. And then we have a lot of St. Louis Cardinals fans, which is me here. So.
And Fayetteville's not far from where you are, correct?
No, not at all. My daughter's in her 2nd year there. It's literally the next town over. So it's Fayetteville's obviously a big college town for the University of Arkansas. It's kind of a conglomerate. You got Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, and Bentonville. The home of Walmart is here. the home of Tyson and a few others. I mean, JB Hunt. So it's a really big. It's just 4 cities kind of right next to each other, and it's just a really cool area. If you haven't had a chance to, if any of the viewers here haven't had a chance to check out the area, come check it out. They've got a little bit of everything here. So
I mean, Bentonville's got an airport with Walmart, so it's not hard to get to.
not at all.
Yeah, I mean, and with Walmart, I mean, you know, the amount of product that they go through. I mean, there's definitely a huge collector base there. I know, you know, we saw it when we were there. I've actually been there twice. I mean, I was there with Adam, or Steve came with me one time, and I mean, it's terrific, and the the hospitality is great, not only with you guys, but the vendors are terrific.
Yeah.
How many vendors do you guys have that are
At
really
the
in that
show
area?
this weekend, I'm going to guess. My wife kind of keeps up with that side, but I kind of set up the map of where they're all going to sit. But I'd say around 90 vendors is what we have, and obviously some have a couple tables, some have one, and some will bring their buddies and all that stuff. But I'll tell you, it's the vendors we have are just amazing. I mean, we've had a few vendors in the past that didn't work out, and you know that happens. That happens with any show. But we take pride in bringing in the right people. We try to create a real family friendly environment, because when I grew up going to card shows, that's what I remember is those types of shows. So we're trying to continue that going. You know, the Pokemon's really uptick there, so a lot of people are doing Pokemon, but we've tried to focus our shows mostly on sports cards. I think this weekend, I would say the ratio is probably 80-20 sports cards to Pokemon. But I mean, it's fun. Collect what you enjoy. If you like Pokemon, do it. If you like sports cards, do it. I do a lot of wrestling. I do a lot of celebrity, like Pop Century stuff too, because that's what I enjoy, and I've had a lot of fun with that too. So when I'm not collecting Griffies, it's hard to sell Griffies. It really is, because when you sell them, it's like you're watching one of your kids go away. So, but I do a lot of times at the National, I'll put out a lot of the Upper Deck rookies and things like that, because I think if I'm going to put them out, that's the place to do it. Is the biggest show in the world. So.
Matt, we talked to Tom Guideman a couple months back. He was the creator of the iconic Griffey card. Beyond that, what is kind of the next level of Griffey cards? That's a chase card for people and for yourself. What is that one card that you would be really reticent to give up?
I mean, I love the Mariners autographs. Something I started saying a few years ago. People are like, "What are your favorite cards of him?" And you know, Upper Deck was always there. But even back a couple of years ago, my favorite was the '95 Pinnacle, the bubblegum card. And a few years ago, it was $1 or $2. You can find them in any bargain box. And now they're pushing $50. I mean, it's unreal. It's kind of like now you can't find them as easily for that price that you used to be able to going through bargain boxes at a show. But I mean, those are probably my two favorite. The other one is obviously the '94 Griffey Mantle. I've had several of those before, but don't currently have any. But always looking for those. But the prices, as you guys know, has gone up just a tad.
Hey, those are terrific cards. I actually just bought a Griffey a few weeks back at one of our shows, but and sent off to get graded. But yeah, great stuff. The show this weekend is great. Where can everybody find information about the show online?
Sure. Yeah, you can find me under Griffey Guy on Facebook, or my wife Griffey Gal. You can find GG2 Sports Cards online as well, as shown on the flyer there. Like I said, it's going to be free admission. Really, something really cool that we've done for the past, I'd say 5 or 6 years, is my dad gets to come to the show, and he gives out free cards to the kids. So he'll sit up at a table up front with his girlfriend, and it's really cool just to see the interaction. Their kids come in, and it's nothing big. It's not like $100 cards or anything, but it's just something to get the kids started off right, because I'm in my mid 50s. I'm not the future of this. I want to see the kids enjoy a hobby that is safe and something really fun. And I think that we give them that opportunity. Like I said, it's free admission. People can come in and just walk around and check it all out. It's a really cool environment.
Fantastic stuff, Matt. We appreciate it. I look forward to getting back down there sometime, but I know I'll see you at the National this summer.
I appreciate it, Jeremy. Appreciate it, Steve. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck with your show. Our thanks to Matt Canaday for joining us this evening. We're going to talk here shortly with Wes from Next Up Card Show, Oak City Sports Cards. And before that, we want to thank Sport Card Auctions and Consignments for their continued support of Greeny Sports Cards Live. You want to check them out at sportcardauctions.com. Dave and his team have over 15 years of experience and a 99% satisfaction rating. If you are looking to turn your cards into serious cash at Sport Card Auctions, they'll make it simple for you. Just send your cards in. They'll take care of everything from photography to listing to shipping. They're the trusted source for thousands of collectors, whether it's vintage, legends, or modern hits. You're in capable hands, more than capable hands with Dave and his team at Sport Card Auctions. So start consigning today at sportcardauctions.com, where your cards get the spotlight they deserve.
Yep, fantastic stuff they do there. I'm actually wearing their shirt. That's what you get when you consign. You get a T-shirt, right? Yeah. So I send Dave and their guys a lot of stuff, and it's real simple. Just the money gets deposited right in my account. It's simple.
When you work with Greeny, you get a T-shirt too. So
yeah, right.
Greeny Sports Cards.
Yeah.
Greeny, we've talked to Wes before. Our next guest is stepping even further onto the national stage with one of the most anticipated new shows coming up in Pittsburgh in 2026. Wes is the owner of Oak City Sports Cards and creator of the Next Up Card Show Pittsburgh. It will take place during NFL Draft Weekend coming up, and very exciting stuff. So it is our pleasure to welcome back Wes Spiess.
Hey there, Jeremy. Hey, Steve. Good to see you guys again here.
Yeah, this is awesome, and man, I see all these videos about all the things coming on in this show. So, we wanted to get you back on to preview it more so than a week or two before the show, so people can actually plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, man, when you're talking about a big event like the draft or the Super Bowl, it's not a show that you're going to plan to go to a week before. So
absolutely.
We wanted to get you on, go over kind of the logistics, what's happening with the show, and what people can expect. So let's just talk about first the idea. Like, how did this even come to mind? Where were you like, man, I'm going to do a show?
So, as you know, I'm super close with Dimitri Livshin, and I think most good ideas come from women. So I applaud Steph. Thank you so much for the idea. I mean, she knew that we did shows and all that, so she suggested. She's like, you know what? She asked, Dimitri. She's like, hey, has there ever been a show based around the NFL draft? He's like, for some reason there hasn't. And I started looking into it, and I figured maybe, I don't know, 75, 100,000 fans go, but I was shocked to, I guess, learn that like 630,000 fans attended the NFL draft last year in Green Bay. And I was just like, man, like, I think Pittsburgh is like more central to a lot more states. And I imagine it's just going to be even more crowded. And these fans, one, they're sports fans. Two, they probably have money because they travel to the draft. And three, they'll be looking for stuff to do, after round one. I know there's diehards that'll be glued to the TV, but, we'll have that on display as well. But we're just down the street from the draft. I think probably like maybe a 5 or 10 minute walk from the NFL fan experience, and looking to have, a huge base of fans and collectors. And I'm sure some people that haven't, messed with cards in a long time, but we are super, super excited about this.
Yeah.
Wes, you've got in Pittsburgh the David Lawrence Center, which is the main convention center where this is going to take place. The football stadium and baseball stadium, for that matter, is on the other side of the river. Give people a sense of where the NFL experience will take place, and conversely, some recommendations on how people can move about the space and plan. There's going to be a lot of people planning for parking, planning for arrival, and kind of the lay of the land, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think on our Instagram, the Next Step Card Show, I think we literally just had like a map. And again, like, I'm not great at social media, not great at a lot of things. And Katie and her marketing team came up with there's like a little like Pac-Man type map laid out from where the draft is to the show to the fan experience. So I think follow Next Up Card Show on Instagram, and you'll get a better feel for it. And I think she went last Thursday. It was like 7 degrees or something. She's like, I don't know why or how people do this. It is not for me. We might get a snow a year in Raleigh here, not too often. But I'll absolutely defer to her with that. But I mean, it's going to be congested. There's going to be, I'm sure, there's going to be tons of people. It is what it is. But then you just gotta fight the masses and get there early and take it all in. And the show is. So night one is Thursday night, round one, and then they have some on Friday and some on Saturday. I think that they extended it into 4 days this year, but the show is Friday and Saturday only. So yeah, we should have a countdown going on here, but yeah, we are just super excited for the show, guys.
Yeah, I've seen some of the previews of some of the vendors that you have lined up. So you want to take us maybe through some of those? I saw Nate's going to be there. Nate Burns, a Grand Slam. Who else
Yeah.
do you guys have lined up?
Kyle, King of Cards, he's going to come. I know Jameson Long, he comes to a lot of our shows as well. I think Eric Bitts of Buy Nice Cards will be there as well. Grant Slayton will be there, and we've got a lot of big time vendors. I know Eric Whitland's going to set up, and I think you guys can be joining us as well. So we're excited for that. But I know Sappy is coming. From Sappy's Cards down in Dallas. I know Hobby Ray's there. I appreciate the reminder there. But yeah, I mean, it's just Tyler Santiago's coming. The list is just too long to name. I know it kind of put me on the spot there, but I mean,
but that's
starting and want to be fair to everyone. But yeah, I'm sure we're meeting some dealers for sure.
Yeah.
But I think someone we're really excited about is Baseball Card Exchange. So they'll be coming out, and we're in talks with a lot more people to come to the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're still a few months out, and what's great about the NFL draft is it's not just Pittsburgh fans. So people are going to come from all over the country, which in turn will drive them to the show. So it's kind of like going to be a who's who or a collector of whatever. How many tables are you expecting to have? What people can expect?
Yes, I think we're like in the early stages, and it's just kind of tough to count as far as tables because we've sold like tons of booths, and the booth might be 6 tables. So I know it's a bit of a loaded question, but I know my wife created an app with someone, and so we can go in there and see exactly how many. But the space itself is huge. I mean, we can fit in a lot of tables potentially for sure. We like shows that people can walk around and have space and not feel too crowded. And with the crowd that we're expecting, we want people to breathe and be comfortable and stay longer than 30 minutes. So. But I expect a big turnout. I expect more and more dealers to sign up. We've had a wave of people come in the last 10 days or so, and again, appreciate chatting with you guys and helping get the good word out here.
As a Cleveland fan and Cleveland fans, it does pain us to talk about Pittsburgh in any sort of fashion, or certainly in a positive way. But this is really going to be an amazing experience. Pittsburgh, it's a great city. It's a great sports town. And as Greeny said, you're going to see all kinds of uniforms walking around representing all the teams. Are you getting support from the city and or the NFL? Are they welcoming you, or is this part and parcel to what's happening?
And again, I wish Katie weren't on the call here, because she, I get far too much credit for everything show related. Like like I mentioned last time, she's like, kind of do what you're good at, and I'm very good at cards. So she's like, I want you to do this. Like, these people, I don't. And she literally just crawled underneath the table like 3 minutes to go upstairs to tell our 3 kids tonight. Like, she didn't want any part of this whatsoever. She'd be a lot better than I am at this. But
she's the behind the scenes, which is fine.
Yeah, I think she's more than that. Like, if you came to one of our Charlotte shows or Hickory or Raleigh, like, you'll see her and you'll see Tommy running 1,000,000 miles per hour. And again, like, my role is to get good vendors at the show and tell as many people about it as possible. And then I'll just like get to the show and might help up with a couple of things. But I'm just like, I'm a card guy. It's what I like and what I enjoy doing. And been told many times to do what you're good at. So
yeah, which is great. But part of that, what you're good at is knowing a lot of people in the industry, and you've been doing this a long time. And one of the reasons that something like this will work is the relationships that we've built over 20 some years of doing shows and traveling the country, which is why, you just named off a bunch of people that are coming to your show, which is fantastic. And I think that collectors are really going to see that. And that's why shows like this, they do well, even on the first year, especially in a place for the NFL draft, right?
Yeah, I love your optimism. And I think it's a lot of times it's just like a big speech for school. You get so nervous, and once it starts, you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief, or just, towing the lines of a marathon. There's 99% of the work is done before you start. But yeah, absolutely. Like I said, okay, how many days until she just crawled under the table? She's on my left here now. I don't think you'll see her face, but you might hear her voice, but maybe not.
Wes, we just launched Greeny Sports Cards launched the Ohio State Card Show 2 weekends ago in Columbus, and we likened it to you're throwing a birthday party and you send out the invitations, and you just don't know if anybody's going to show up. You hope they do, but on a first time show, you just never know. And we've continued to be overwhelmed by the response of the hobby, and it continues to grow and the energy behind it. And now you've got this built-in audience. I think this show is going to be a smashing success. What are you most excited about? I know you've got the stress of producing it and Katie as well, but when it's all said and done, what are you hoping to get out of it?
I think just continue to work on, I think a lot of times it might sound silly, but like a lot of these guys I only see 2 to 3 times a year, and I used to see them, 10 times a year. So I think just like at the national, I think you have to, allow, so much time just to kind of catch up with people. And I like to know people, not just what cards you picked up lately, but, tell me something outside of cards. Like, tell me about your life. And like, it's such a close network of people that, I love the relationships. I love the support. I know we talked to a lot of people in Dallas, and they said, why are you coming to the show? It's like, well, we want to support you guys. Like, we like what you're doing in Charlotte and in Raleigh, and like, we're there because of you. And like, there's some people just like, no, I want to go to the draft, and this is like the show is just a bonus. So like, we'll take any and all answers for a reason to get there. But yeah, I'm curious. Like, do you guys follow the draft on a normal day? Do you tune in more than round one? I'm just curious about.
So
You.
you have to realize we're Cleveland Browns fans.
Sure.
And we tend to have one of the first 5 picks every year. So
Sure.
yeah, we do. We turn in. I think this year we have pick number 6. So we
Okay.
know we're not getting Mendoza, but yeah, we tune in. This is our playoffs every year, is the
Right.
draft. So
Right.
we are very good at watching the draft in Cleveland.
Nice. So I mean, are you as glued in, or as far as like round 2, round 3, like will you watch all the rounds, or like I know my old roommate Peyton, shout out Peyton, what's that man? But
Yeah,
just
so
take really
day
good
2,
notes. He's
3.
a Raider fan, but
So Jeremy works at the local sports talk station, so
Mhm.
he's going to be way more in tune than I am.
There it is.
I'll pay attention to day
Mhm.
2 and 3, but day 1, yeah, I'm watching.
Right.
I just had a flashback though. So last year during the draft, we had the Great Lakes Collectors Convention, and on Saturday, so you had the first couple of rounds, and on Saturday there was a huge eruption in the hall, people clamoring and cheering and going nuts. The Browns had drafted Shador Sanders after
Mhm.
that run, and so people are paying attention, and certainly in the legacy football cities. Again, you're going to see people with Pittsburgh in the location. You're going to have people from Detroit, Buffalo, New England, New York, Cleveland. They're all going to
Yeah.
converge on this space. And the energy, Cleveland had the draft coming out of COVID, and there was still 250,000 people that showed up. And it was kind of a surreal thing because people were still wearing masks, and it was still a tremendous experience. And every day has its own nuance. You've got Thursday night, round 1 is crazy. And then things kind of settle in, and you get you get a lot of interesting activities and people and mascots and people in their attire. So there's a great energy around the draft. And again, I'm really excited for the show for you because I think you're going to tap into something that's pretty magical.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many fans attend the Super Bowl. I know like the Super Bowl itself probably has 70, 75,000 depending on the stadium, but like I mean, I don't know how many extra fans come to it, but I think it's probably 12% of this or something. Like it's not it's not this. And
Right.
World Series, same type thing. And like, but I mean, what other gathering, at least in America, do they have that has this many fans there? And if you like football, you probably like other sports as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see the turnout and have all the fun down there.
So this was a question I was asked. So you have Oak City Sports, you have First Pitch Promotions. Where did the Next Up name come from?
Just kind of a play on words,
Yeah.
now drafting for the Cardinals next up. So just kind of a play on words. We got fun with the draft and just named it that. So yeah, that's it. That's the origin.
It works. I mean, it's got a good flow to it. It works.
Mhm.
The website Next Up Card Show is easy to remember.
Mhm.
I know Haley's pulling it up here. Yeah. So April 24th 5th. So that's Friday and Saturday, right?
Yep. If Friday and Saturday, we have a super early move in on Friday, and yeah, I mean, a lot of people have applauded that. Like, yeah, we want to be home Saturday night. Or I know Katie just drove up, or she flipped to Pittsburgh last week and flew back the same day. It's just like we like our babies, we like our family, and we don't like being gone. All that, and some people do. Some people wish there's a 3-day show, I'm sure, but no, we just couldn't be more excited to get the ball rolling here and for it to start. And I think another thing cool. I mean, there's so many like trades during the draft too. I mean, can you imagine if like Kirk Cousins gets dealt to Tampa or whatever, or name your team, and then all of a sudden, hey, these are all of a sudden like on the show floor. They've gone up 30%. So and there'll be a lot of that, and we'll have some draft coverage there as well. But I think this day and time people are just glued to their phones, and I remember a few years ago, I think it was Anthony Davis. Whenever he got dealt, like it was just like, why is like 4 people asked about Anthony Davis in 20 minutes? It's like, oh, I checked my phone. It's like, oh yeah, he just got dealt to the Lakers. So yeah,
and we know that happens in the NFL. I mean, there's always draft day trades. So yeah, that'll be, and then you'll see. So Bowman Chrome University, I think, will do terrific, as it always does around the draft, right?
Yeah.
Mendoza cards will sell. The Ohio State players. Anybody, maybe a Pitt player gets drafted high. Who knows? So
right, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there could be some good stuff.
Yeah, and so any agents out there, or any like 1st-round picks, 5th-round picks that are listening, like, hey, we'd love to have you at the draft. And a lot of times they're on a plane, minutes after getting drafted. But how cool would that be to have your Browns 1st-round pick? Hey, meet and greet for $50 or whatever, $100 down the street. I mean, there'd be hundreds, not thousands of fans, all over that. So I think it's very exciting. I mean, we've got a lot of buzz about it, and just, going to Dallas and going to these different shows, I hear other people talking about it, not me. So it's just like, I mean, the word's absolutely traveling. So yeah, we're pumped.
Well, listen, we never know if it's going to work until we try it. And we applaud you for trying it. We can't wait to come. We think whether it's a success or not, it's going to be good. Like, you have to try it to know if it's going to work. And
yeah, for sure. Really, and like I said, I know that I think the biggest thing is that there's gonna be a ton of people, and that's not not the worst thing in the world. So I know the Fanatics Fest is a zoo getting in and out of there, and there's limited parking and things like that. But I'm pretty optimistic and like to focus on the positives, and the people will be there. It's not like Field of Dreams, like the people come. There's no doubt about that. But just getting them
real quick, Wes, because we got to wrap here. Let everybody know where they can find you and more about the show.
Yeah, so just nextupcardshow.com. I'm very busy on socials as well. Just Next Up Card Shows as well on there. And feel free to reach out to me or Tommy, and good point of contact there. But yeah, appreciate you guys having us on, and looking forward to seeing you at the show, if not at your show.
Yep, and we'll talk more about it as the weeks progress. So we really appreciate it. And nextupcardshow.com. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Wes.
All right, appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Yep.
Thanks, Wes. Our thanks to Wes Spiess from Next Up Card Show and Oak City Collectibles, and of course Matt Canaday from GG2 Sports Cards. Thanks to Joe Wismierski from Phoenix Card Shop. Thanks to Haley on the board running the magic behind the scenes. Thanks to Giannino's and Sport Card Auctions. Make sure you check out Collectibles on SI, our presenting sponsor for all the latest in hobby news. Greeny, thank you for letting us do this every week. We will continue. We've got a lot of exciting guests coming up in the coming weeks and lots of show content to talk about. So in the meantime, may the cards forever be in your favor.
Have a good night, everybody.